Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the SWAN Pricing Show. My name is Filip Vucic. I'm a pricing mentor.
And I'm Filip Zolota. I'm the CEO and the owner of growth marketing agency Mauja.
And we're going to talk today about something very, I think, relevant. And it's about lead generation in SWAN. So expertise-based services versus DUC. Commoditized services space. So define some terms, will you?
Yeah. Sure. So quite often, especially nowadays, you can see also on the LinkedIn how many information are being shared in terms of lead generation for expertise-based business. And everything looks pretty much cool in that terms, but the fact is that true and serious business will not be closed and arranged simply using outbound and cold outreach tactic, especially expertise-based business. Because what is happening? You need to put yourself in the right shoes and see this perspective. Okay, somebody contacted me, and a person is proposing me their respectable professional services and asking me to pay, for example, 100K for their services. They simply jumped out of the blue in my inbox trying to sell me something. What is actually the chance for you to say yes? No chance. The point is, all serious business is being done through strong referral network, having social proof and track record for respectable professionals with whom you have engaged or with whom you're engaging with. So the point is, within the lead generation and cold outreach and outbound, it's the numbers game, and it doesn't work properly for expertise-based business because nobody will give you crazy amount of money for your professional services without knowing anything about you. So that is very relevant to emphasize and mention immediately, because what is happening very often, expertise-based businesses, simply due to the lack of projects and clients, they're being pushed towards the cold outreach, crazy amount of tactics, spray and pray. In the same time, on the market, you have crazy amount of lead generation agencies which are guaranteeing some number of high ticket opportunities, etc., 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 etc. But that is something which is formally looking nice, but effectively it doesn't work according to the desired situation, and that is simply a fact.
I would say so not knowing the not understanding the borders, the difference between that case and the SWAN case. So I see this in pricing as well. People put impulse buy prices. So this is 49 40 499. What? It's not an ice cream. I'm not going to suddenly decide, yeah, I just might pay that guy for his opinion, right? It's not an impulse buy, so it has no sense. And by communicating this, you're also communicating that you don't get it, that this is not an impulse buy. Because, and this is I think your main point as well, you are selling opinion here. So it doesn't, it could work if I'm selling garbage bags or something. I could pop into somebody's workshop and say, hey, you need garbage bags? And he knows what he's gonna get. He can see it. And maybe he does, and maybe he doesn't. But you can't sell your opinion door to door. You're not gonna sell anything. Hi, can I tell you something smart about the amount of lighting in your room? No? I mean, I'm expensive.
And I'm contacting you.
Yeah.
You need me. I don't need you. You need me.
Exactly. Right? You need a lawyer for your court case, right? I'm available. Here I am. No, it doesn't work that way, right? Because you're selling opinion, you're selling something that is not just intangible, but is also very much predicated on who you are. And if I don't know who you are, then I'm not going to buy it, because who you are is very much a part of what you're offering, right? So and to get off the soapbox, I lost, and I do mean lost, about $7,000 in 2022. No, 2021, sorry. It was last year, but last year. Okay. So 221. Trying different things, making deals with professional salesmen or paying for LinkedIn ads. Not the most horrific ones, the conversational ones, but I didn't get anything out of this. For $7,000, I got zilch. A couple of promised initial, like, let's get together and talk for 15 minutes free meetings, which they didn't show up for. So net loss. So I fully understand why people do it. I did it multiple times, and this time it's different, and this time it's different. It's not. It doesn't work. And my logic was, just get me in the room. Get me in the room with somebody who might need my services, and more often than not, 70% of this I close. But they can't. They can't get me in the room because that's not how it works. And the way that it works for me, and you'll say your how it works for you, but it's basically a combination of networking, showing up on meetings online, talking to people, and content. And then people know who I am, and have heard me say a sentence, two or three, have seen my post on LinkedIn, have read my newsletter. So it's completely different. I have this experience of getting to know somebody and saying, hey, I do a newsletter, and then they subscribe, and then I post twice a week, and they read 50, 60 of them before we meet again, and then we meet again, and they know me. They understand. And when I propose, oh, that sounds like something that we can maybe work together. Oh yeah, that would be awesome, because by now they know me enough so that getting them in the room is not a problem, and then we make deals. But for somebody else to say, and I work with wonderful people, I work with wonderful professional salespeople who have a good track record, but not on SWAN things. They have good results for services, and not just services, but services which are duck cases, which are something that everybody understands. It's completely fungible, right? It doesn't really matter who takes your stuff from city A to city B. Doesn't really matter if Jack shows up or he doesn't show up. It really matters if I show up or I don't show up, right? So anyway, I wanted to share my bitter experience with this, because it seemed logical for me too. I don't know. Have you invested?
Invested. It was an amazing amount of money, time, everything. Yeah. The point is, we all did that in some respectable moment in time in business. You simply you don't believe what you hear. You need to experience it.
Yes.
And that is the fact. The true state, the actual state is, for me at least. And the same thing goes for our respectable colleagues, friends, partners, especially within the niche and other expertise-based businesses. In our case, in the agency world, in the agency business, 98% of all closed deals are through referral, partnership, and network, meaning people who know us, who were referred to us, etc., etc. Only 2% are kind of people who simply jump in out of the blue. Maybe there was some discrete campaign, etc. But mainly, and all serious deals, serious businesses are being done and closed only through strong referral, partnership, network, and what is very important, as you mentioned, education. Educational marketing is not something to eat. It is actually sharing the knowledge to your audience, educate people. And what is a big difference between newcomers, noobs, and professionals? Professionals aren't afraid of sharing things they know publicly and open, because as you mentioned in one of our previous episodes, is the fact that professional is always needed to fully deploy and implement the solution for a respectable company. No matter, you can give them tools, but they don't know how to operate. Or for example, you're not mechanic, I'm not mechanic. Somebody can give us the tools to repair a car. Luck with that.
Okay.
So
I can Google it. I can Google it.
Yeah. I tried it once with the light on my car, and simply because I was lucky enough and I know something that was good. If I didn't prepare myself adequately, that would be a big fail. And yeah, I could make such a shit show within the electronics in the car, but yeah, that is for some other story.
My last computer that I bought had some issue with the motherboard. So I reinstalled BIOS myself,
Nice.
and everything was fine. And then I was working in the IT industry at the time, so I just casually mentioned this to a couple of people who actually know what they're doing, and they all cringed. Well, what? Right? For me, it was no different than reinstalling Windows. Yeah. But they know I could have bricked the whole thing and turned it into a slab of slowly cooling metal. If I pressed the wrong button at the wrong time. I had no idea that this was any different than reinstalling anything, which I have done so many times. So for this computer, when I got it, I simply paid the professionals to do everything. Thank you so very much. I'm not going through that again.
Exactly.
So I merrily walked through the valley of death, not knowing where I am, and tipping my hat to the zombies. I don't want to go through that again, right?
Yeah, awesome. And to finish the thought, yeah, as mentioned, for the agents, 98% are referrals. In consultancy practice, 100% are inbound leads and referrals. And that's it. Because nobody will give you a shit pile of money for your professional service to help them scale, to grow, etc., just because you are pink, you are nice, you have a good logo or whatever. You need to have social proof, track record, testimonials, be out there, visible for sure, and educate and share your knowledge.
Can you define inbound leads? Because I'm not sure that everybody who would theoretically listen to this knows what this means.
Okay. Inbound leads are all leads who came to you organically or through checking or searching, watching your content, they are following you and similar. Practically those who are contacting you without need for you to contact them. That would be an outbound lead. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I wanted to say, you said education, and I just need to reiterate that it is about education, but education about your topics, obviously, but also who you are.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's called a parasocial relationship, because people who consume your content or see you give presentations or they don't know you. They don't. but they kind of feel like they do.
Yeah.
Right. I met a YouTuber that that I was following for a while, and I felt like we knew each other. They saw me for the first time. I saw it was a husband and a wife. But I saw the wife many times before. She never saw me before. But it's a parasocial relationship. I simply have seen so much of her that it's for my monkey brain, it's very hard to say, yes, you are strangers, right? And this is sometimes why people come to me with problems that they wouldn't share with strangers. Because they feel like they know me, they've seen me, they've heard me, they've read my stuff, and have me heard me talk about my mistakes, and now they're comfortable talking about theirs. That wouldn't work if I knocked on their door and they saw me for the first time. Hi, do you have any problems with your pricing?
I
You
can
like
help
to
you.
pay a lot of money for me to fix that, right? And I mean, we're joking, but this is why it doesn't work. I think one thing is that they are not sure who we are, and do we really know what we say that we know, because we obviously have uh, um, conflict of interests, right? And this is what we're afraid when we're asking somebody random on the internet, right? You know, can you code in Java? He might be Googling how to code in Java as we speak and say, yes, I'm very proficient
5 years of experience in Googling.
in Googling. So it's an interesting difference, but it's definitely there. So half of it is they're not sure if we're telling the truth, and half of it is they don't really know that they need what they actually need. We talked about this as well. So in general, knocking on people's virtual doors doesn't really work. What you can do, what I have done successfully, is to do networking, let's say, without an official network. So you can find somebody on LinkedIn that doesn't know you, follow their content for a while, maybe comment once or twice, and then say, oh, hi, we seem to have something to talk about, and then do networking. So you don't do selling. You would call that selling without selling, right? You don't say, you're in luck, I have a special today and it's 50% off. No. You're asking, okay, so what do you do? Okay. Do you ever like, I would ask, do you feel fearless in your pricing? Maybe if I was feeling that was appropriate, and we were kind of maybe, and then maybe they give me an answer, maybe they give me a joke answer, and we go on, we roll with it. Sometimes something rolls out of it, sometimes nothing rolls out of it. This is completely fine. But the hard-nosed selling, unfortunately, I also have experience with hard-nosed selling. I for 7 inglorious months, I was a vacuum vacuum cleaner. Yeah, you know what I mean. Salesman, door to door. I was instructed on how to do that, and found a way that works, that made me feel maybe disgusted of myself. So I've hats off to the people that can do this, and hats off to the people that really need that kind of product. I just, yeah, that was a job of last resort, but I know how that's done, and this is how I know that it doesn't work on anything remotely close to the SWAN business cases.
One thing I need to mention,
Mhm.
you helped me with that to remember that. When I see, especially business coaches and consultants, trying with FOMO tactic,
Go on.
please don't do that. Please, meaning today, only today or this week, special discount on my consultancy session, 50% off. Awesome. Awesome. Nobody will book that. Or somebody will, but you'll never be paid your regular price.
They might click they're going to be there on LinkedIn. They won't be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they will, and they'll look like this. Or possibly like this. Speaking from experience. So no, I mean, I always say I can talk about these things being mistakes because I've made them.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly proud of that. The discounts. We've talked about discounts. We will talk about discounts counts again. I know Coca-Cola had a really strong rule. I don't know if that's still current, but like 10 years ago it was. It probably is. They don't change much. You can't put Coca-Cola on a discount. You can. They did make those like bigger bottles.
Yeah. Bulk packages, etc. Yeah.
The price is the same.
Yeah.
And you can put Coca-Cola in combos. So sandwiches, $2, and Coca-Cola is $1, but together then they are $2.50. So you don't really know which one was actually discounted. That's fine. That's completely okay. But you cannot have a Coke then for then less than a full price, because once, and this is especially true for services, once they see, aha, wait a minute, you're usually charging 600 and now you're charging 300, your cost didn't change, so you're usually overcharging, and not just for this product, for everything. Obviously, this is your thing, you're overcharging. So that can be really destructive.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. And it doesn't work because, as we said before today, people don't really understand that this is what they need. This is one of the frustrating things about what we do, right? You know that a proper logo needs, you tell me, 10, 20 hours of work at least in the analysis, and
plus research, etc. Very often you can easily invest full month for the research and everything to create something meaningful.
Exactly. And if you think logo is a picture, right, and some letters, and somebody says you can have 30% off my month of research to get something meaningful, why would I need that? Right? So there's no FOMO. You know they need it, but they don't. And you can either go and educate people so that they know this, which is harder because they don't know that they don't know, and they don't know that they need to know, and you have an ulterior motive in explaining this. So it's a very hard starting position, right? I think in Diablo they would call it infernal starting position. So it's better for you to build trust in who else did you help that I know, or I know of. I had this like yesterday. Somebody came new into the group and say, okay, so which other members have you already worked with from Australia? And I said, oh, this one, this one, this one. Turned out that the person who got him into the group was also my client and a very, very happy one. So that I don't have to tell him much more. That's it, right? He trusts that guy anyway. And I gave him enough examples that he doesn't really need anything else. So now if I say, listen, what you need is this, this, and this, he will take me seriously. But before this sentence, I was just some guy from across the globe with a funny surname. He never heard of me, and he would never take my advice. Right? So it's fairly, so this is a much easier way to generate things, to generate leads through relationships and a combination of relationships and let's say content, educating people on, I mean, solving their problem, giving value up front. I think that's how it's called.
Yeah, that is the right thing. And how you say that. Because as you mentioned previously today, people get to know you, have a feeling they already know you, and they receive already valuable insight information, and you opened new fronts in their heads, discussing about something or advocating some respectable position, thought, process, procedure, whatever.
Okay, so I think we can slowly conclude. Spray and pray tactics are expensive, especially because they don't work, and they don't work because people don't really understand what you're offering. And even if you're completely right that this is the thing that would change their future, you have an ulterior motive in saying that. They have no trust, because why would they? And as long as that's the case, you're not going to sell anything, not anything meaningful, not anything worth the investment.
Yeah.
Anything? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that way we are saving other people at least 7K plus.
Plus.
For sure.
Yeah. So heed our call, people. Don't make your own mistakes. They're expensive. And yeah, I think we're done for today. Where can people find you, Philip?
People can find me on LinkedIn, also my agency page, Agency, and my consulting practice on the domain philipzolota.com.
So LinkedIn for me as well, and fearless-pricing.com. And how I mostly give value upfront is through my newsletter, my bi-weekly newsletter, which is very short and relevant and sometimes funny. People, thanks for listening. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.